Everybody, welcome back to another episode of FSi DFS Fantasy Baseball Picks. I'm your Micro 31. Happy birthday, America. It's the 4th of July, and I changed my background to Bicentennial Park, which is not too far from me in Allentown, PA. The college baseball team plays there. Never been there, but I just thought it was kind of cool when I saw it on the internet that when they're talking things 4th of July in baseball, that there was a Bicentennial Park. So, 7 game slate here, maybe six. I mean, the weather is kind of concerning in Detroit and Minnesota. So, have to see if that clears up and they can get that one in. But we'll still include it in the breakdown. So, let's get into this. So, first game we have is the Reds and the Yankees. And we have Montas and Stroman. Montas has really struggled this year, so he's on the fade list. I'm not touching him. Stroman, I think there's some upside with the strikeouts in the Reds. The top of the lineup is decent. The bottom, Fraley might be back here, but I think there's still enough Ks in the lineup. As electric as Cruz has been, he still strikes out. So I think that Stroman's in play when there isn't a ton in play, pitching wise today that you're really going to love. Bet wise, Cincinnati, you got to consider them, and they fell off the list here. They're in the GPP slot here. So Yankees have usually a decent bullpen, and they're getting some pieces back. I know they have one of the worst ones in the last 2 weeks there up on the board there, but actually, I think it's Efros. The electric closer that had Tommy John should be coming back. So they're getting some good pieces there. So I think that um, Cincinnati's in play, but it's an investment to play De La Cruz at 6-3 here. But the rest of the pieces are relatively cheap that you can probably plug in if you want to play Cincinnati. Yankees, I think it's the top stock on the slate with how much Montas has struggled. So you could pretty much play the lineup. It's just like to highlight him at first base here at only 2.8 is doing quite well. And that's a nice price point. Even Torres and Verdugo at 3.5 and 3.6 make it easier to get like the 6K Judge and Soda in your lineup. So I think that they should work out for you. And I think on Independence Day, the Yankees, how appropriate are the top stack on the slate. Houston and the Blue Jays. Kind of weird that Toronto on the 4th of July, with every single team playing, gets a home game, the only team that's not in the United States, but I guess their colors are kind of red, white, and blue. So Houston Valdez, I think he's definitely in play here. Like Toronto definitely has a lot of right-handed hitters. Probably throw a full right-handed lineup out there against Varsho. They lost one of their biggest right-handed bats against lefties, and Turner, he's out on paternity leave. It means there's a lot of babies this year being born, so it's good for MLB, helping to repopulate um, the world here. So Valdez, yeah, like him here. I think in the middle of the range, Stroman probably a little bit more against Cincinnati with the strikeouts there, but Valdez I think is definitely in play here. And then Bassett, I can't do it. Like he has a good parts in the beginning of the season, but I just haven't been comfortable with his recent performances, considering playing him at. I guess you could play him in GPP. I don't think he's a complete fade here. That's why that's. But out of the medium range pitchers, like Stroman and Valdez are going to save you money. They're cheaper, and I think they have better matchups than Bassett. So I mean, it's small slate, 7 games here, like 150 max. I think if you want to put them in, if you're mass multi entering, but Houston, they really usually have some good plate discipline, and they're fourth over fifth overall with strikeout rate. So Houston bats, gotta like them here, especially Alvarez, probably one of the top bats on the slate here. Love the discount. Like he used to be up in the 6K range. He's been dropped down to 5.5, but I mean he's had some home runs recently. So and in like even the bottom of the lineup, like if Salazar is there for catcher and Luper Fido, like make it a really cheap and workable wraparound thing too, where you can go like 8, 9, 2. one, two, three, and get like all the big bats for Houston in your lineup for you. For the Blue Jays, Vlad and Springer have been pretty hot recently, and they have the splits advantage. So I guess you can play anybody on the top here. Jensen's been out on maternity leave also, so he should be back in the lineup too, hitting like probably in the middle, like fifth or so. And there's another decent right-handed bat against lefties. So and maybe the baby narrative is there and alive and well for him also. White Sox and Guardians. Jared Schuster. I'm not going to go that deep. It's probably going to turn into a bullpen game here. So I liked him in spring training. I think he was, maybe it's a different guy. I thought he was on Atlanta. So maybe he got like Rule 5 or something or traded. But I think he's got potential. But like his starts in the major league level outside of spring training have not been good. So I I don't think you can really play him here. And Cleveland's got a 5.28 total, which is just, I think it's too high. But Ben Lively on the other side against the White Sox, I think is solidly in play here at 8-2. I like the other pitchers in the 8K range. Like nobody is like super expensive here besides Sanchez is like right at 9K. So you're only like saving $800 here. It's not like you have like a 10K pitcher up to like 11K, like Chris Sale was on some sites yesterday. But but well worth it, definitely. So Lively, I think's in play against the White Sox. That wise, White Sox would just be a leverage stack. Um, I don't think like I really want to play them. I don't know why they fell off the sheet. So Cleveland, I think they have a 5.28 total. And I get it. The White Sox aren't good. The pitcher's not good, but it's kind of hard sometimes when and they have a decent bullpen. They have like the third best behind Schuster. So I don't know like if I really in cash, like if I'm playing Cleveland, I think I'm just gonna stack them. McQuan's up to 5.6. J-Rom is 6.4. Naylor 5.4. Fry 5.4. This is an expensive catch now or stack. Now Noel has been doing really well. He's probably gonna bat like sixth or seventh, and he's 2.5. So like there's some salary relief there. And if you go Hedges the catcher over like Fry, but this stack is hard to get in, and there's really not a great value team today. Like you have Minnesota, but you have the rain threat there. Toronto is kind of a value stack, but there's like most of the guys you want are probably in the 4K range more than like the 3K range. And then the White Sox, or not the White Sox, the Cubs are in the value range too, but the wind's blowing in there and they're up against a decent pitcher. So I just I'm probably going to be playing some Cleveland, but I don't think they're going to be my main cash or they're going to be in my GPP. Boston Red Sox and the Miami Marlins, Pivetta and Kyle Tyler. Pivetta, I think, is the top pitcher on the slate here. I know a lot of people are probably looking at over, but with the weather there, I just can't do it. In cash, so if changes, that's fine. But Pavetta, I feel, is the top pitcher. It's a weak Marlins team. It's a pitcher's ballpark. So sign me up for a lot of Pavetta. Kyle Tyler, not going to touch here. The Red Sox, even though it's a part downgrade, should still be decent. All the lefties there, even O'Neill. I think you can pretty much play anybody 1 through 6 in this lineup. And I don't struggle with Wong as catcher. He's been decent righty on righty too. Marlins, I can't even touch anybody on here. I think Pavetta's just going to cruise through here, and I really they're all striking out so much here. 25% K rate, and some of them, even Jazz, who's their best hitter, his K rate's been almost to 27%. So, not touching the Marlins soon. Detroit and Minnesota, Kenta Maeda and Bailey over. I mean, Maeda's like, if the game plays and you need a cheap punch pitcher and you're trying to get that Cleveland stock in, then yes, I think you can play him. Minnesota has been really good recently. However, they did lose couple bats still to injury. So I just you just hate to see it. Like Lewis is out again, and hopefully it's not a long-term thing. Like he was out forever and came back and was like really heating up, like almost getting to the white hot level, and then he's injured again. And so there's some decent pieces in this Minnesota team that can hit. They almost have a five total against Maeda. But again, in GPPs, if you're trying to take something down and this game's going to play, then I think you need to play him as your SP2 to try to get those expensive stacks in. Over on the other side, like I said, I really like it. There's like strikeouts in the Detroit lineup. He should just go out there and have a masterful game against them. The only one you really fear is Riley Green. I said that yesterday, and he had a home run. But the rest of the lineup, just really didn't rise to the occasion and put up too much alongside of him. So again, weather's the name of the game here. Detroit just leverage stack because Ober's going to have a ton of ownership. Got to make sure you have Riley Green in your leverage stack, even though he's the most expensive one on the team. The rest of them are only 3K, so you can afford it. And Minnesota, again, besides Correa, that's like 5.2. Everybody else is like 4K, mid 4Ks or less. Brook Lee is a decent shortstop. Has some potential here with some speed and a little bit of power, and just a flat 2K. So if you're okay punting shortstop, then and this game's going to play, then there's definitely somebody that you can throw in your lineup to try to make other things work. And if you're stacking Cleveland, there's not a shortstop in that stack that I really want to play, so that works out perfectly there. Fill in the Cubs. Maybe a little rain here. It's like 20%. Wind blowing in at Wrigley, 6 miles per hour. So it should be okay for pitchers. Sanchez and Tyan, I think they're both solidly in play here. Sanchez having a good season here. I know there's some power righties here on the Cubs, but I think he can get some strikeouts and have a solid game. I don't think he's going to shut him out, but might give up a home run here or two. But if you're willing to pay up for him at 9K, I don't think his ownership's going to be that high unless people, for some reason, feel that they need to play the most expensive pitcher on the slate because DK knew something that they didn't, and there's a reason they was priced up that high. But Tyon, I think, is solidly with all the injuries to the lineup here, losing Harper, losing JT Realmuto, losing Schwarber. They still have Turner and Baum here, but they're righties. The Italians been good against righties. The lefties at times can be okay in Stott in Marsh, but I think Tyan is solidly your SP2 here in cash. Bat wise, I think they're both just GPP stacks. I said Chicago's a little bit on um, the cheaper side here, just besides Bellinger at 5.5. Everybody else is like in the 3K range to like a couple 4K guys. So definitely affordable righties against a left-handed pitcher if you want to go there. Finally, we round it out with San Diego and Texas, Michael King and Max Scherzer. King has some strikeout upside here. And I know Seager's back in the lineup and they're starting to get healthier and they've hit recently. So, and Texas is in the bottom half, just around like, around like a 20% K rate. So, but on a smaller slate here with only 7 games, I think that you can consider King. I think he's a great GPP choice for you. And Max Scherzer, I'm still not touching. I like the price and everything. He's still a decent pitcher, but how far is he going to go? I think he threw like 70 some pitches, maybe gets up to 85. And the Padres have hit decently recently, and he has been giving up some long balls in his career recently. So I'm not going to touch Scherzer today. San Diego, I think, is top GPP stack. I think if Scherzer does pick up ownership just on namesake and people don't pay attention to like that's his second start after being out, and that he might be on a pitch count and that is a great matchup for him, then the Padres, if they go off, could be kind of sneaky there. And then Texas, I think, would be a second favorite one against King. It's been decent, has the strikeout ability and stuff. But I think that there's still some nice power hitters in Seager and Smith and even Nathaniel Lau has been and decent in this lineup. So So what I got for you, let's look at the builds and get you on your way for your holiday. So, like I said, Pavetta, I think Thailand's going to be my SP2, but I'll let you make your decision there. I want to get Yankees in there. Soto and Judge is going to be my priority, and Rice. And then I'm going to try to fill in Minnesota. If I can't do Minnesota, then I'm probably maybe I'll just take cheap one-offs everywhere that I can, like take Noel and maybe I'll take Royce or Leo for Volp. I don't know because if it's the rain game, I'm not touching any Marlins, but like maybe Blue Jays, Cubs. I'll figure out how I'm gonna go there. But I think it's gonna be Pivetta and Tyon. It's gonna be my pitchers, and I think definitely with Rice, Soto, and Judge to build around. I probably at that point would throw in Torres. I think he's about the same price as Castro there, so it'd work. And then I'll figure out the rest of the lineup, trying to get either cheap one-off bats in for the final three, or see if there's another stack that works out in the open positions. For GPP, Stroman and Valdez, I like those two medium range pitchers. I think they're pretty solid there. And give me Houston and give me the Red Sox. So Hamilton, Devers, and Abreu, and I'm going to take Alvarez and Pena there. But remember what I said, you can do a nice little wraparound if you want to get some more expensive bats in for the the Red Sox. If you want to get up to like Duran there, then you can play Figo over Abreu there and just like do the wraparound thing for Houston and mix and match them there. So I think you got two teams that are in really good hitting situations there against pitchers that aren't great. So I think just mixing and matching when the lineup comes out and making it work. And again, if you want to play Cleveland or if you want to try to full stack like the expensive bats on a team like Yankees or the Red Sox or Houston or Cleveland, then what you're going to want to do is you want to probably play Maeda if that game plays. So I got for you. Thanks for watching. Good luck in your contest. If you have questions, put them in the chat below. You can hit me up at MegaRuler31 on Twitter or X. And if these videos help you, like, subscribe to our channel, and share with your friends. So hope you have a safe 4th of July. Enjoy celebrating our freedom today and America's birthday. And I'll see you next time.